Lessing Monday. I am the team development chair along with Mary Proctor. Mary and I are also one of 4 event leads for this year. I'd like to introduce you to Ann Feller. Event lead.
Oh, that was so neat. Thank you very much. My self-esteem is restored.
And Josh Munch.
Yay!
I know y'all are eyeing the shirts this year going, wow, how do I get one of those? All you gotta do is volunteer for Team D. So anybody that's wearing this Team D, I'm gonna ask them to take a minute and introduce themselves, and we'll start in the back with
Linda Patton, and I'm with East Meets West, but I'm also team development.
Yay!
I'm Lisa, also with Team D, captain of Team Happy Feet, and I love it.
I'm Heather Rennie. I'm captain of Belly Busters, 5th year doing relay.
Arslan Arif, captain of Yes We Can, Yes We Will, and doing 30 years.
he said it feels like it's been forever. I would like to take a moment to point out that Heather and Arslan are our lead ambassadors this year. Every team is getting an ambassador this year. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Heather and Arslan are kind of doing double duty as our lead ambassadors this year. So thank you both for what you do.
Thank you guys.
I do want to take a moment and introduce some of the leadership team to you for you this year. As I look around the room and I see them all, introduce them. We have Brenda Stroh. You can just wave at everybody. And she and Jeanette Cunningham, who's sitting in front of her, waving at everybody. They're the folks that are working on food for us this year. Josh Schmidt as the event lead. Kevin Cisneros is back in the back. He is on sponsorship this year.
Here he is.
Right there.
Terry Moffitt is also sponsorship. Back in the room. Back on this side, we've got Gloria Smith, who is our sponsorship. And if I missed you,
Christina Ramirez is in the room.
where is she? There she is. Oh, Christina Ramirez is back there.
ACS Ken.
Our fight back chair this year, and she is focusing on ACS Can, and she'll tell us more about that too. We also have Debbie Munch over there by Josh. Well, we get to meet her frequently because she'll be doing our banking.
Yay!
I apologize that we do not have a bank night tonight. Every captain's meeting is typically a bank night. Our staff partner had a family emergency. She had a death in the family and is currently flying back from Texas, so she could not be here tonight. So that's why there is no bank night. So please hold on to that money and bring it back in 2 weeks, and we'll get that bank accredited for you. Did I miss anybody? Okay, thank you, Governor.
Okay, we typically start our captain's meetings off with what we call our fight back moment. Tonight, our fight back moment is about Jenny Beanstra. Jenny Beanstra, we lost her on December 17th. She was 75 years old. And let's have a moment of silence in her honor, please. We take losing our captains personally. Let's bring Jenny's spirit to our relay this year and remember her as we celebrate, remember, and especially fight back. gonna start with our agenda now. Survivors. Dawn O'Neill couldn't be here tonight, she's out sick, so I'm gonna tell you what we know. There is the fashion show and luncheon, the Survivors Fashion Show and Luncheon at the Chino Senior Center on June 6th. We are looking for, that's better. We are looking for raffle baskets for that event. Every raffle basket that is donated will earn 1,000 spirit points. So please contact Dawn with the phone number and email there if you're able to donate a basket. And I don't know if any of you have been to the Survivors before, but they usually have a couple rows of raffles, so they're looking for as many as they can get. So please be generous and donate.
And we do ask each team to try to contribute at least one basket to the fashion show. And if you want to do more than that, well, there's more spirit points for you on the line. So every basket is 1,000. Also coming up, really soon is our Show Us Your Hope. And that's where we paint the town purple when you drive around and you see all those purple bows all over the place. That's part of our Show Us Your Hope. And we usually have done that in May. And then everybody says, oh, you guys support the Lakers. No, it's not for the Lakers, it's for relay. And so this year we're going to be hanging those bows in July. And we'll let you know the first date that we're going to be doing them. But before we can hang them, we have to make them. So starting May 18th, and for the next May 18th, and then 5 more,
May
5 more
18th
Mondays.
through June 29th. May 18th through June 29th, every Monday.
Yeah. Bow tying here, not upstairs, it's downstairs. When you walk in that back door, you hang the quick left, and there's a room there next to the restrooms. Glory will be there with ribbon, and she'll show you how to make those bows. Everybody that shows up and makes bows and stays it's from 6 to 8 p.m. If you stay for the whole thing, there's 100 spirit points for everybody who participates.
For each meeting.
Yes. Right. Got that right, Gloria?
That's right.
Okay.
Are you going to be doing it on Memorial Day weekend on that Monday?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, take
Oh, that's
another
right. May 18th, June 1st, June 8th, June 15th, June 22nd, and June 29th.
Yeah.
So, good point. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Memorial Day, we take off. The buildings are closed, so. I mentioned earlier that every team this year will get a team ambassador. Some of you have been at it for a very long time, don't really need an ambassador to probably help your ambassador with a few things. So that's okay, you don't have to use your ambassador, but you're gonna have one. It's an additional resource for you if you need one. And don't be afraid to use them. They've been well trained and they're ready to help you. If they don't have an answer, they'll get the answer for you. So please feel free to use your ambassador. You will be getting contacted very soon if they haven't been already.
They might have, some have already started contacting.
Okay, they don't know who their ambassador is.
I have not emailed yet.
We'll be emailing you to let you know who your ambassador is. So you'll have their contact information and know how to reach out to them. Any questions on the ambassador? All right. Spirit points. As I've mentioned a couple of times already, we're doing spirit points quite differently this year. We have traditionally racked up the spirit points and then given the team that has racked up the most spirit points a prize at closing ceremonies, or an award at closing ceremonies. That's kind of disheartening for everybody else that has worked their tails off trying to get those spirit points. And so we thought, how can we make this a little bit different? So what we are doing this year is we are going to have a spirit store. And Lisa in the back is our spirit store manager.
Oh, yeah. Stand up. Hi. I am a manager, thank you.
We will have, as you go through relay, you will be able to, or through the relay season, you will be able to earn spirit points. How do you earn them? You participate in other people's or other teams' fundraisers. We have a spirit point tracker back in the back, as Heather is holding up. Pick up one of those, you take that with you to another team's fundraiser. You say, hey, I'm here, will you sign off for me? You write down the date, the team, and you have the team captain initial that you're there. And then you turn those spirit trackers into your captain. Your captain's gonna well, you guys are the captains, have your team turn them into you, and then you're gonna bring them to campsite selection where it's gonna be changed for spirit bucks for them, and they'll take those spirit bucks and they can use them at the spirit store. And we'll have all kinds of different stuff in there. Some people call it old last year's stuff, we prefer to call it vintage. So we'll have all kinds of relay branded items. Chuck E. Cheese is donating to us, so we'll have stuff for the kids, so we can incentivize the kids to participate. So it's planned to be a very great event, and we hope that y'all will be so motivated to get those spirit points that you can go spend them. Your cold hard cash doesn't do you any good in the spirit store, but it might get you extra spirit points.
Come see
You
me.
can also earn spirit points day of relay too. Some of the themed laps, I believe, are still gonna have spirit points.
Some of them.
Any other ways that?
Miss Relay, the car show, and the
In
activity.
the event, you can get spirit points day of as well.
What did you guys do with the old shirts?
Oh,
What did
the
you
old
make?
shirts.
Some of them will be pillows, and some of them
Not quite as like that, because they say 2014.
and we don't know those, so they're not quite that fancy.
Right.
But they're pillows. We've done some pillows, we've done some handbags, and there'll be a limited supply, because we have a limited supply of shirts, so you want to get those vintage items while they're hot.
Yeah, the spirit store will not be open the whole relay. We'll say, I don't know what hours it's gonna be open, but it's gonna be open only certain hours, and we'll, as soon as we figure that out, we'll let you know.
Right, yeah, we have to give Lisa, bathroom breaks.
And let her be with her team.
Yeah.
For a donation.
There we go.
All right, website.
Oh,
Any questions
already?
on Spirit Point, Spirit Point Tracker, how all that works? Y'all got it? Great. Okay, Mary's gonna talk a little bit about the website.
Okay, but some of you are experienced at this, some of you are not. I thought it would be a little easier to show what the website actually looks like. After you get registered and you log in, even if you don't log in, you can actually just come out to the Relay for Life of Chino, relayforlife.org/ChinoCA website, and this is where you're gonna go. What I wanna show you is a few more event information right down here. We have a new thing this year called the calendar, the Relay for Life of Chino calendar. We've had some comments in the past that there's a lot of fundraisers on the same dates, or I didn't know this was happening. So we created a calendar that you all can go in and put your own information on. You can add to this yourself. So if you have a fundraiser, please come out here, click on Add Event, and put your information in here. If you want to know what fundraisers are out there for the people that put them in, you can come down here and see Monster Misfits has a fundraiser this Saturday. It tells you where, tells you when. It also has all the captains' meetings in here, so there's no excuse for missing one now. We have them right there. So please use this tool. We're hoping it's going to help get more people at more fundraisers and spread it out a little bit more.
And it will also help you schedule your fundraisers. So like, for example,
Like on Saturday.
May 30th, you've already got 2 teams having a bunko. You probably don't want to schedule one on that day. There's going to be a lot of competition for attendees. So unless you have your own stash of, people that want to come to your bunko, you probably don't want to compete with that, because those are 2 pretty big teams and they have a big draw. So just take a look at that before you schedule your fundraisers, so we don't have 5 different voted dinner fundraisers on the same night and try to figure out how you want to schedule that. So the calendar is going to be a really useful tool, but only if we all use it.
To go back to the website, click on whatever your back button is on whatever browser you're using. It will take you back to the website. The other things I wanted to show you is, besides there, we also put the fundraisers here as well. You have to scroll down, and it will tell you. I don't think we got the Monster Misfits up here yet, I'm sorry. But we got Don't Blink here. Hopefully it's the same information that's on the calendar, but it's,
because you're here.
and that's going to be gone. Yeah, but anyway, messed me up. I post these things here from, okay, stop that. If you have a fundraiser, email chinorelayforlife@gmail.com. We will put it out on Facebook, and I also put it here. The calendar is your responsibility. So if you go out to the calendar and add it, it will be there. So there may be different information in different places because of how we're getting the information. I'm not going to look at the calendar and see what's not put out here. So I only put out here what is emailed to us. Say again? Yes, you can, yes. That's the other thing with the calendar, there's no rights on it. You can edit and delete. So be careful what you do. Don't go out and delete someone else's entry. Just go ahead, just add. But if you see something's a mistake, you've added something, you can go back in and modify your own. Not a problem. And the other one I want to show you is announcements here. If you click on the announcements button, again, we have all the dates for all the important dates. But on the right-hand side here, forms and documents. Registration form is out there right now. If you see the ones that have the line underneath it, that means there's a link, and if I click on that, it will actually open up the registration form. You can print that and use it however you need to. It will eventually print it. There we go.
So, what do we do with those registration forms? We turn them to you?
Yeah, well, here's the big, Relay for Life. American Cancer Society has redone the whole way they've done registrations in the past. They have what is now called a society account. Your old Relay information, and you have a new Relay society account. If the two don't mesh, we have a problem. So, what you want to do is try to register. If you have a problem, you're going to have a 1877 number at the bottom. I think they can help you fix that. However, you have to register with an email address. And only one person per email address. So if you have children that you're wanting to register and they don't have email address, you can't register them. So the only way to do that is to fill out this form and get it to us.
And then you guys will add them?
And we will add them. Yep.
There's no you guys, it's Mary.
Completely nice.
I remember, I mean, I've done it
Right.
with kids now. I've registered a few through you, and the Gmail.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Thank
Okay,
you.
I was going to
Yep.
say that.
The only exception to that is a Gmail account. So if you have, I need a pen.
We don't have.
They would be right there and then.
Okay.
If you have a Gmail account, you can add more.
Oh, Christina stole one.
I didn't steal them, I got them downstairs.
Okay.
Well, thank you then.
If you have an email address, let's just say Mary, only Gmail, @gmail.com. And now you want to register your child, very easy. You go Mary, your child's name is Steve, you're going to say plus Steve @gmail.com. What ACS's system does is it truncates this off and doesn't send emails. It will send emails to Mary @gmail. Okay, but it will register them. But it's only for a Gmail account again. This doesn't work for Yahoo, it doesn't work for AOL. So that, if you could do that and save me a lot of registration, that would be great. I would appreciate it.
Because there's no us, it's Mary.
So just do Mary plus, and you can do as many as you want of these. You can do 15 of them, plus Steve, plus Tom, plus.
So it doesn't have to be just children, you can do other teams if you're.
You can. If you're registering anyone that does not have an email address, you can do it this way with the Gmail account. Without a Gmail account, you have to go back to the registration form and
Oh,
send
okay,
it
that's
to me.
much easier. Okay.
And Gmail accounts are free, so maybe that's what you do.
Or create a new one, right. Create a new Gmail account and go for it. But Gmail plays nice with ACS, and that's the only one. Okay? But back to the forms and documents is a Luminaria form. I'm going to be putting the agendas out here after the meeting. So you'll see the captain's #1 there probably tomorrow or Friday. And we're also, you probably noticed in the back, we're videoing our meetings.
Yeah.
Within a day or two, hopefully, a day 2 or 3, we're going to have the videos out there. So any of you new people who might have missed the boot camp last week, click out here, click on, whoop, click. There's the video for last, and we don't want to watch that because we don't want to see our faces. But that was our meeting from last week. So we're gonna have each of the meetings here. So if for some reason you can't send someone, there is a way you can get all the information you need.
You will also earn spirit points for attending meetings. We are doing that off of our our sign-in sheet. You do not get any spirit points for missing and watching. Doesn't count.
Just for attendance.
Doesn't count. So you have to actually be here, and if you want to be in the contest, we're having I don't think we've even told you about that yet. Yes, we did. We sent you an email.
Oh, okay.
You got your email. We are having a contest. If you have perfect attendance at our captain's meetings, you will go in a raffle drawing for a VIP parking spot, front row, up close. You get to haul the stuff in and out a whole lot closer than ever could.
And we will give it to the team captain. It's up to you to decide how you want to use it. If you've had a star on your team and you say, hey, you've done a lot of work, I want to, award you with it. You're free to do it with what you want. We're going to give it to the captain.
But you don't tell anyone, just.
You can do that too.
And then, but the captains, you don't have to go to the boot camps, right?
That's correct.
The
Correct.
captains.
It's the 6 captains meetings that are for the perfect attendance for the VIP pass.
And for those of you that attended our captain's meetings last year, we only had 4 and we went out to 6 this year because I really had a hard time talking like an auctioneer last year because I had so much to tell you and I had to talk faster than my mouth actually goes, despite what my husband says. So we brought it back out. There's more information to give you. There's been a lot of changes at the national level with ACS, so there's a lot to tell you, and there's just no way to cram it all into 4 meetings. So that's why we're at 6 meetings again. And those of you who've been around for a while know that we were at 6 meetings for a long time anyway. So, any questions on the website and stuff that Mary's covered? And you all know that she's registration, right?
Yeah, I'm online chair, so most of the stuff that goes on the website is me.
Yeah.
What if teams want to promote their fundraisers through the Chino Champion?
You're supposed to send that to him, right? Okay, when you send me your fundraisers, I will also send them to Chino Champion. I don't know when they need to be in to be able to make it.
Tuesday before Saturday, but sooner is better.
What we're asking for, and we've gotten quite a few lately that have been within 2 or 3 days of their event, we really need, as relay season gets hot and heavy, we really need 2 weeks' notice to get this out to all the places it needs to be. Because we're talking upwards of 100 teams that are sending us their fundraisers. We try to organize it by first come, first serve, and the day of the event that the fundraiser you're having, interspersed with our reminders for boot camp and everything else. So there's a lot of stuff going on the Facebook site. So if at all possible, please send us a JPEG, because if you don't, if you can't, that's fine. If you can, we appreciate it, because I have to somehow convert it to a JPEG to be able to get it on Facebook. Email it to here and give us at least 2 weeks if you possibly can. We understand if you can't, but we prefer if you do. And if you can't, we can't guarantee it can get on in time.
Yeah, we also have requirements from ACS to post certain things, like you might have been seeing the Discovery Shop. That's a requirement from ACS that we post that on our Facebook at least twice a week right now. So you're going to see that twice a week. And we don't want that to bury your fundraiser. So we want to give everything that we post time to be seen and time to be shared to give you the maximum exposure for your fundraiser so we can help you be as successful as possible.
And as then brought up, we will then also send it out to the Chino Champion. So if you give us 2 weeks notice, we know we can get it into them. Not a problem, we can forward it right to the Chino Champion or get it in their the paper. Well, we also, I think, Josh, are you still doing Twitter?
I will be attempting to, yeah.
Okay, and we will send it to Josh and he will put it on Twitter as well.
And we can make no promises on behalf of the champion that we can get your fundraiser in, but we will certainly do our best.
Right. Thank you, Erin.
Any questions? All right. Moving, we'll go back one. With the fundraising, you need to begin thinking of what your day of event fundraiser is going to be. If you already know what you're going to do, we've got a sign-up sheet back there We ask you to sign up and let us know. The reason we want you to let us know is because we want to have varied fundraisers. If everybody out there is selling lemonade, we're not going to be very successful. We want to have various and different fundraisers, so as you come up with ideas for fundraising, you know, we want you to begin thinking about what it is you're going to do the day of the event for your fundraising. So start thinking about that, and when you know, let us know on the sign-up sheets back there by Heather.
We've never done it before, so I don't know what are there usually, is there anything that's not allowed, is there anything?
There are, and we're going to talk about that next captain's meeting. And
the other thing about fundraising pre-event is some of you might have noticed there are some fundraiser flyers out on the table here. Please feel free to bring in your flyers for any fundraiser you're having, and we'll bring them to, bring them to captains, put them on the table, and we'll get the word out that way as well.
Generally, I'm going to tell you, rule of thumb, please don't do food. We'll talk more about that, but please don't do food. The reason we say don't do food is there are so many ways to make somebody sick that could end up eventually, if they're the right kind of person, suing ACS because they got sick at our event, and that $250,000 we just raised went to go pay for the lawsuit instead of the cancer patients. And that's really not what I'm here for, and I am sure it's not what you guys are here for too. So we'll talk more about that, but please stay away from food. Unless you're a longtime team that's always done it and you know the ins and outs of it, food's a bad idea. Okay? Okay, moving on, bank nights. Every captain's meeting, except tonight, is a bank night. Every captain's meeting, July 29th, is our t-shirt distribution. That's also a bank night. That will be the final bank night before the event. You can bank during the event, and then we will have the captain's wrap-up a couple of weeks after the event, which is also our final bank night. And once we get a firm date on that, we'll let you know. We're trying to find a building big enough for all of us to have our wrap-up. So once we get a date in the building, we'll be letting you know when that is. So those are your opportunities to bank. Boot camps are not bank nights. Captain's meetings are. Final bank and t-shirt night is July 29th from 4 to 7:30. Please know that only captains can bank. Even the day of the event, captains are the ones that are authorized to bank. We just don't want a whole lot of people running around with a whole lot of money. You guys have been in charge of your teams. You guys know what's going on, so we ask you to take the responsibility of banking. And we'll talk more about that too. In order, every participant who raises $100 earns a Hope Club t-shirt. And that's what the t-shirt looks like this year. This is the 2015 logo. Yeah, it's logo. In order to be guaranteed a t-shirt, that money must be banked by July 1st. Our captain's meeting is not July 1st, it's a couple of days before that, maybe even a week before that. But it must be the week before that, okay. So if you're banking offline donations, it has to be done by the June 24th captain's meeting. If you're going to bank online donations, you have until July 1st to be guaranteed a t-shirt. Well, after that, it's first come, first serve based on how many t-shirts that we have. So to be guaranteed a t-shirt, bank by July 1st.
And a minimum of $100.
Yes.
Every participant, that is a minimum of $100 by July 1st, guaranteed.
Okay. And last year, we only needed a little over 500 t-shirts, so let's try to earn at least 1,000 t-shirts this year, right? Yeah. Encourage our teams.
And sometimes this goes on the captains too. If you have like a captain, a donation for your team, you can distribute that to your participants as well. So if you have some that haven't made their 100, you can distribute that to participants to help them make their 100.
So you can, we'll do, coming up in another meeting, we're going to talk about, we have team accounting sheets back there, so that if you have, let's say you have a fundraiser, a yard sale fundraiser, and 3 of your team worked it and the other 5 went to the river, and they probably didn't earn anything, so the money that you earned, you're going to split among the 3 that worked, that team accounting sheet back there helps you do that, and that's how you tell us how you want that money. So, you'll need that team accounting sheet every time you bank. And it's in duplicate, so you keep a copy, so if we happen to make a mistake,
Which does happen.
which happens every year, you can let us know, hey, here's my copy of this, I need you to fix it, and we'll get that fixed for you. So, and we'll talk about how to bank and all that stuff later as we go.
We'll get it fixed.
So there's no me on that either.
That's no me on that either.
Okay, moving on.
Oh, awards.
You know, this is all fun and great, and what we do is for an incredibly noble cause, and we all have very personal reasons that we relay. That aside, I'm gonna bring my competitive self out and say there's awards to be had. And these are the awards that we will have this year. And we have an awards packet back on the table that Lisa is showing you. Certainly feel free to pick that up. That tells you about all the awards. Get that handout. There's what we introduced last year was the Outstanding Relay Award. And that was awarded to our very own Josh Munch last year.
See what happens when you get that award, you get promoted and
Congratulations, you're a vet chair. So, well, see, and I quit, so it doesn't matter. You try to quit and you try to do well and you're a vet chair. Congratulations. So don't try to quit, it doesn't work. So the how to win those awards is on that handout that Lisa's got back there. And two of the awards, most spirited and best decorated, we also have a subcategory for the youth. So the youth is competing amongst themselves for those two awards, and with the rest of us for the rest of them too.
And all of these are awarded to one team except for the team Trailblazer. Any team can earn that. And in that packet, you'll see a form that shows your requirements on it. So if you want to become a team Trailblazer, just fill out that form and get it to us. We have to do the prerequisites, obviously.
Incredibly manageable. So,
Yep.
So if you want information on those awards, feel free. I'm sure I'm not the only competitive soul in the room. Am I?
Oh, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Got you.
So, it's lots of friendly competition. You also know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to remind you right now, we do have the porta potty contest going on, and the way that's going to be a little bit different. I announced that at kickoff. I skipped Bart tonight. Okay, well, I'm going to do this real quick, and then we'll go back. Okay, all right.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, we'll go do this, and then we'll go right back to Bart. We tried to level the playing field a little bit this year. Instead of giving the team that raised the most amount of money the porta potty, what we're doing is for every $500 you raise, your team raises, your team goes in the raffle drawing for the porta potty. And what it is we take two of them, we set them aside, we decorate them, we make them smell nice. Most important piece, we make them smell nice, and we lock them. And the teams that will win will get to keep, and they have private exclusive use of that porta potty for the duration of relay. So, you know, there's an awful lot of people using those porta potties, and we won last year, it was great. That's all I'm gonna say.
The reason there's two of them is we split our teams into large teams and small teams. 44 and under is a small team, 45 and over is a large team. So one from each of those groups will win the porta potty. And it's every $500. It's not increments. If you raise $499, plug in $1 of your own because you're not going to get that extra raffle ticket. If you raise $1,500, then you get 3. So for every $500, you'll be put into the box for drawing.
And we will draw the winner at the ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's back up to Bark for Life. Bark for Life is coming up. It's our sister event. It is October 17th, and it's going to be at Boys Republic, like it usually is. Typically in the past, Teams have been invited to participate in BARC, and we've had to pay a fee for a spot. This year, if you are a registered relay team for 2015, your spot is free. So you can join the BARC event, and it's also a fundraiser. Now, it will go towards next year because it's after the end of our fiscal year, which is August 31st. So it's an opportunity to get an early start on the fundraising for next year. So if you are interested, there are registration forms back there on the table that Lisa's looking for, so she can hold them up. There you go. There's BARC for Life registration forms, and you can put the application in for a spot at the BARC for Life event. Know that dogs cost, people are free. Okay, if you want to bring your dog, our relay event is obviously a non-pet friendly event unless service animals, of course, are welcome. But we ask you to leave Fido at home. That's the same thing with the lawsuit. We really don't want to spend that $250,000 settling a lawsuit because Fido is really cute and well behaved most of the time, but this one time took a bite out of somebody, and there goes that money we raised. So, pardon me. Know that if you wait until August 15th to register your four-legged friend, the fees will go up. So $15 for one dog, $25 to register two. Yes.
And I'm sure we ask everyone to have that kind conversation with visitors who come to Relay, who want to bring in their very sweet small dog and say, oh, it doesn't matter. I will hold the dog in my arms during the event. That's an important conversation to
It is.
educate visitors who come to see us at the event about bringing dogs.
I have absolutely the cutest dog on the planet. Hands down, I don't care what you have. My dog's cuter. 10-pound Maltese. She has to stay home. She does not get to go to Relay. So, and she's very well behaved, way better than your dogs. And never bitten anybody. Potty trained. All that fabulous stuff, but she does
Tell
not.
us about your dog.
What'd you say?
So tell us about your dog.
Oh, I would, but I don't have time. Anyway, Fido gets to stay at home, or in my case, Gracie gets to stay at home.
I need to back up a minute.
Okay.
On the perfect attendance for the VIP parking, we are going on that by your sign-in. So if you have not signed in, make sure you do on your way out, or it's not counting whether you sat here or not, because I can't remember who attended, so make sure you sign up.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's for every week.
It also counts for spirit points too. If you're not signed in, we will not give you spirit points. And know that the spirit points are per team. You can bring your entire team. You're still only going out with 100 spirit points. And we will give those to you at campsite selection based on the registration or the sign-ins for the meetings. Any questions on our BARC event? You can turn your applications into us, and we will get them to Jen Rudin, or if you know Jen, you can get your application into Jen directly. Okay. Speaking of contests, we had a contest going on for the 1 a.m. Sugar Rush, and that was based on the number of registrations from April 16th through May 6th.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, got it.
First boot camp, at the end of first.
And the team with the most registrations is going to win the 1 a.m. Sugar Rush. So we have a shout out for 4th place, honorable mention to Team Prison City Derby Dames. They had and they hustled. They had registrations like 50, 11, 52.
They basically came to boot camp and learned about it and got online and did it.
Started texting their team.
Very impressive.
14 registrations.
Are you sure it didn't have anything to do with the name Prison City? I'm just saying, you know, we're right next to the Chino prison.
It could have. I'm choosing to believe they texted and got busy. In 3rd place with 19 registrations, congratulations to Team East Meets West. 2nd place with 20 registrations, congratulations to Team Honey Badger. And I have to tell you, I have to take a brag moment on Team Honey Badger. Y'all remember the contest that they had where they were trying to raise $1 million in one day? and they challenged each relay to raise $1,000 because Team Honey Badger banked that day $1,050. So we made it. Thank you, Team Honey Badger.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My two, Rondi, two.
Yes, and the winner of our registration contest with 22 registrations, congratulations to Team Superman. So they don't know.
Must be present to win.
We didn't advertise that caveat.
Too bad.
Next time, right?
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is turn you over to our sponsorship team. We've got sponsorship is really the heart and soul of, no, you guys are the heart and soul of Relay. Sponsorship is the heart and soul of the dollars of Relay. It's where our big dollars come from. And so the big dollars are getting harder and harder to find, and so we're coming up with some new ideas of how to get the money into our relay that we have traditionally gotten. One of the things that is different this year that y'all need to know is traditionally sponsorship has been credited to your team, and you did not get individual credit towards your incentive prize at the end. And I know we don't do it for incentive prizes, but let's face it, we all look, because we go, oh yeah, I think I want that. So, this year, starting this year, your sponsorships are credited to you personally, also to your team. So that $500, that $2,500 is going to just sweeten the pot for you for your incentive prize. So that was separate of how
And for bragging rights in your team.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So with that, I'm going to turn you over to Kevin, and he's going to let you know what's going on with sponsorship.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. How are you all? Good. Are you getting excited about the first team captains meeting of the year? Me too. Super excited about it, and just happy to be a part of our sponsorship opportunity team with Terry and with Nadine. And there's really some great information that we're going to share with you quickly tonight, including our sponsorship opportunity packages and how you can help with that. How many team captains do we have in the room? Co-captains? All right, so I'm speaking to the right crowd. All right, we are coming to you because Nadine, Terry, and myself have worked with the Chino Relay for Life for many, many years. I was the 2010, 11, and 12 event chairperson, so I've had the opportunity to serve alongside many of you for many years and to raise a lot of funds for the American Cancer Society. And we have had the opportunity to find out what works and what doesn't work as well. So we really want to take this opportunity to use what works and take that and go above and beyond what we have in the past. And what we have found that works is making the personal ask through our teams and our team members. So for example, we have a sponsorship committee. In the past, we have cold called every company you can think of in Chino. I have literally walked the Spectrum Center and the Albertson Center and every center, talking to each manager, asking, hey, would you like to form a team? Would you like to be a sponsor? The yield from that was minimal to none. We got a few off of it, which was awesome. Every dollar counts. Every team that comes in, we've got some great retail centers here that do support our event, like Walgreens, etc. And those are the businesses that I choose to support in return for that. But what we found historically, ladies and gentlemen, is that the majority, and when I say majority, I'm talking 95% of our sponsorship money that comes in came through our teams, making personal asks. The power of that personal ask. So our goal is to empower our teams to know how to educate their team members, how to make that personal ask, how to easily ask for sponsorship, and to send out the troops, to send out the masses, to get out there and to spread the word. To ask people, would you consider joining us in the fight against cancer by making a sponsorship? The reason why I am comfortable giving somebody that opportunity is because they get something in return. For each sponsorship, they get recognition for their company. So for example, the company that I work for, they've been sponsors for many years. Because of that, they've been on the t-shirt for many years. They've been on track signs. People know that our company sponsors the Relay for Life. And we do that because we're passionate about fighting against cancer, but it sure is a nice little perk for a company owner to have their logo on a t-shirt or a track sign, plus that, of course, to be a tax write-off, which is a great opportunity. So, how can you help? We want you guys to pass the information on to your team members. We don't expect you as team captains to do it all. We expect that you will pass the info on to educate them and to empower them to go out and to make the ask. Many of us have jobs. We work at places where we can go to them and tell them, hey, I am participating in the Chino Relay for Life. I am raising funds for the American Cancer Society. We are going to take the opportunity to relay as a team for 24 hours. And often people will say, 24 hours? Yes, 24 straight hours in August. In the middle of the heat, we're going to relay and party and have a good time so that we can fight back against cancer and raise money. And you know, Mr. Company Owner, I was at the team captains meeting on Tuesday, and I came across a sponsorship opportunity package that I wanted to make sure that you knew about. Because it's a great opportunity to join us in fighting against cancer. It's a great opportunity to make a donation to the American Cancer Society, and you get recognition for our company here in our local area where thousands of people will be attending this event. That's huge. That's huge. Thousands of people come to this event and they get to see your logo. So, who to ask? I just mentioned asking your company owners. You know, sometimes that can be a little intimidating. I ask my company owner every year, and no matter what, every year it's still just a little bit intimidating. I always know she's going to say yes, but I'm still a little bit intimidated. And I tell you what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to ask her to double her sponsorship. She's always a $500 sponsor, which is really a generous sponsorship, something I appreciate. I mean, she sponsors a lot of things throughout the community, so that's just one of many, and I know it all adds up. But I'm going to ask her this year to double her sponsorship to 1,000. And I think with that, we can raise a lot of great money. So, I want to bring this to your attention. The number one reason why somebody does not sponsor, the number one reason why somebody does not donate is because they were not asked. That's huge, ladies and gentlemen, that's huge. So I'm going to put myself aside, and that little concern that I have that I'm knocking on my boss's door to say, hey, do you have a minute? And to hear her say, not really, which is what she's going to say. And I'm okay with that. She'll smile and go, ha, 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 come on in. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to present this package to her. And I'm going to ask her to join us in the fight against cancer. And you know what she's going to say? She's going to say yes. I'm going to ask her to double her sponsorship, hoping for the 1,000. If she can't do the 1,000, guess what? 500 is going to be real easy, isn't it? So that's going to be a great way to go. Who else can we ask? The people that we support all year long. Our doctors, our dentists, anybody that we use their services, our hairstylists. Those are the people that we can be giving the opportunity to join us with a sponsorship. And I'll tell you, a lot of people, I try to take all of my business to our city here. In return, I think a lot of those business partners want an opportunity to give back to their community. So honestly, there's been a lot of times where I tell them, yeah, I just got to the Relay for Life, I'm tired, you know, we partied all night long, and man, I wish I would have known about that. Wish I would have known about that. Last year, as a matter of fact, I took it to my dentist. Kind of an awkward thing, you know. I didn't even have an appointment. I just show up and I tell them about it. And I tell you what they called me, asking how they can form a team. I took it to my hairstylist. They put a poster, huge poster up in their salon, you know, for like 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a great opportunity to spread some information about the Relay and hopefully get some donations. A great way, so there's a few ways you can make the ask. The personal ask is the best way, face-to-face. That is the #1 best way. There's also the other way that I sometimes use, which is the chicken out route, which I do use. I really do use it. It's the Facebook, it's the email, or it's the letter. The great thing is we have a lot of examples in this packet here. Does everybody have this packet that was on their seat? I want you to take this. I want you to look at it. We're going to go through it a little bit quickly with you. Yes, Christy?
Do we have access to those forms online?
Do we currently, or are we still working on that, Terry?
We are working on that information. We wanted to roll it out this way,
Yes.
Christy, and that information will be available shortly online, so duplicate forms can be printed out for everybody
We
that
are
needs
also
them.
going to be emailing you
Yes.
these forms.
Yes.
With a reminder and some suggestions on how to best implement this with your team. So-
Yep, and we're going to email this to you so that you can pass it on to your team members. Because, I'll get to that in a second. I want to tell you my thoughts on that. So you tell them in your ask, in your letter, why do you relay? When we talk about this relay, how to make the ask, it's why do you relay? But so when I go to my company owner, I may not have the time to tell them my personal story about fighting back against cancer, or my mom or my relative that may have fought cancer, but I do have the opportunity to tell them about what I just mentioned to you. So make the personal ask. So we want to ask you guys to, as I said, educate and encourage your team to do just that. Here's my thought. We're going to go over some of the opportunities that we have here. One of the opportunities is here, let's do that now. If you crack this open, our sponsorship opportunity package is a little bit different than it has been in the past. You will see on page 2, page 1 is a letter for you, ladies and gentlemen, a letter to our team captains, giving them a little bit more information on how to make them ask what we're expecting them to do.
The pages may be a little different because it was late last night.
Yeah, right. You're up at 2 a.m. doing this. So you may or may not find on page 2 the Relay for Life of Chino Opportunities form. It has a purple box at the bottom. This is something that we have added special for the Chino Relay for Life because over the years we have found that these are sponsorship opportunities that work here in our community. So for example, at the top, you have a $500 Survivor Table sponsorship. Everybody knows what the Survivor tent is, correct? It's a huge tent at the event where we host a Survivor breakfast. We have events all day long under this huge tent that shades our survivors and keeps them cool all day long so they can come and have a place to rest and eat and enjoy each other's company. We have 38 tables at this event, or under the tent.
30.
I better check. Let me check my 30 tables. I'm going to check my vision here. We have 30 tables at the event. So for $500, each $500 sponsor is going to have an opportunity to have their company name at one of those tables. So they're actually, for $500, sponsoring a table in the Survivor tent, which is pretty cool. Along with that, event programs are going to be distributed to participants and guests. Their company name or logo will be in that as well. They will be recognized as a table sponsor. I already said that. I believe there was something else here. Was there something about a... Let's go.
Banner.
Why is mine? Well, mine doesn't say the banner. Mine has some error or something on it. But nevertheless, you're going to have a banner as well. So just some good offerings for, there you go, thank you. My new package had some errors there. So the event program recognized on the banner and then to be on the table as well. All of that recognition for a company for $500. I think that's a pretty good recognition for a local company, wouldn't you agree? So here's my thoughts on that. We have 30 tables times $500. Quick math says that's $15,000, right?
Yeah.
How could we get to $100,000? That seems nuts to me. I mean, I think we historically raise like maybe $30,000 normally. How do we get to $100,000? I'm going off the top of my head. We raised 30 or 40 in sponsorships, something like that. How do we get to $100,000 in sponsorships? I'm going to do the easy math. We normally have over 100 teams. If each team were able to come up with two $500, or obviously we don't have that many tables, $1,000 sponsorship. If each team could come up with $1,000 in sponsorships, we could hit that $100,000, and that is huge to our Relay for Life. And so that's something that I want to bring to your attention. I figure if we have 100 teams, if we have 50 teams, and then each team normally has 10 plus people on it, that's why I want to push the word out to those team members. Because if each one of those team members is out there asking their company owner, asking these people, we have a great opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to raise a lot of money for the Chino Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society. Some of the stuff I think that I can share with you next time around, I think I've said enough because we are running short on time. We're running real short on time. So Terry, would you quickly share with them how they can turn in their money? You want to mention that? It's all here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go through this in the back. Terry has even put together an example letter of how you can make the ask. you can just use it as a template, add your name, etc. And again, we're going to email this information to you so that you can coerce it in your computer and send it out as needed. There's a lot of great information here. I really want you to take this. We have more back at the table. You know, I think that, as I said, with 50 teams, 100 teams, 10 team members on each team minimum, we have a lot of people out there. Together, we can make a big difference. You as a team captain, or us as the sponsorship committee, can make a huge difference for what we're wanting to do. If we raise $200,000 plus $100,000 in sponsorships, we're at $300,000, and that would be huge for us. So I just ask that as a team captain, you push the information on to your team members, have team meetings, educate them on that, make them passionate about making the ask, and together we can make a difference for Chino Relay for Life. So thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry that I went a little bit long.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin and Terry and Nadine are also available to you to answer your sponsorship questions. Is there an email address or something?
Yes, actually, my name and email address is on the page as far as turn-ins go.
Okay.
For bank night, but any questions between now and then or any time at all, my email address, my telephone number, if I'm not available, I'll pass on these things.
Can I say one last thing? And I know I went too long. Each sponsorship, as she said, counts towards your goal.
Right.
Your personal goal, your team goal. So every time you get a $500 sponsorship, you get an entry for what? A porta potty, is that correct?
Right on the entry for the private.
So really, this counts towards your total team goal and your individual goal. It's a great way to raise money.
How many tables are there?
We have just kicked this off, so there are 26 to 28 tables left. And if we surpass that, guys, I will find some other type of exposure for them in the Survivor tent or somewhere at the event. We have a lot of great ways to give people recognition. I mean, under the $2,500 and $1,000 program, they get added to our website. I mean, there's some cool stuff here for these businesses to get some exposure.
And we're also having a banner this year which have sponsors that reach a certain level, the name will be on there as well.
There's track signs going around the track. There's a lot of ways that they get a lot of exposure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. You know, fundraising isn't all we do, but all we do depends on our fundraising. So we want it to be fun. Of course we want it to be fun, but really when the bottom line is it comes down to what we need to remember why we do it. We need to remember the Jennies in our lives and remember why we do what we do. So before I give you the closing, I just want to bring to your attention this form that was also on your seat. This is the ACS CAN. For those of you who don't know, ACS CAN is the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. This is the sister network or sister organization to the American Cancer Society. And this is the arm of the American Cancer Society that does the political action. When we get smoke-free workplaces and smoke-free restaurants, a lot of times it's ACS CAN moving that ball along. Giving us opportunities for healthier lifestyles and taking us a whack against cancer. So membership in ACS CAN is $10. And we have a goal this year to bring in 40 memberships. And I know we can do better than that. We have 2,000 registered participants. Not yet, they're coming. We're only at 500 right now. Only 500? Oh, there are some relays that don't even get that big. But we can do better than 40. So I challenge you to become an ACS CAN member. It's $10, it's a year membership, and they keep you apprised of what it is that they're doing and the efforts that they're making to advance in the political arena the cause of cancer prevention. So take this home, fill it out. If you want to fill it out and give us a check, make your check out to American Cancer Society. $10 is all it is. And Christina will talk about this again in another meeting, but I just wanted to kind of give you the highlights of that and challenge you and to ask you to challenge your team members to become ACS CAN members. I'd like to see us have over 100. We can do that. We're Chino. Nothing. So. I just want to remind you, our event is a non-solicitation event, which means you cannot go out there and promote your business. If you want to promote your business, we ask that you consider a sponsorship. So it's non-solicitation, it's no pets, no alcohol, and no smoking. And please remind your team members of that. I don't care how cute that little red cup is. It needs to be lemonade. If you have any questions, ChinoRelayForLife@gmail.com. That goes directly to Mary and me. We check that pretty much every day, several times a day. And if we don't get back to you right away, it's because we're probably trying to figure out how to get back to you. So we will get back to you just as soon as we can. Send your flyers for your fundraisers there, any communication you need to do with us, and of course don't forget to ask for ambassadors. There's also a great resource. The City of Chino graciously donates our meeting space. We don't have to pay for these rooms, so I think he's going to ask us to help him clean up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. No, basically, the city of Chino doesn't have this event as well as it is without them, so they do provide us this room and everything for free, so I do ask that during, or at the end of our meetings, if anybody that's able to stay can help us put the rooms back in, basically classroom style. So we have to get the tables back, the chairs. If you have to go, I totally understand, but those of you that can stay, you can help us just classroom style the room back out. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Let's see.
Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I want to let everybody know that Show Us Your Hope is not only about decorating city trees. We've had a competition among local businesses, Chino Hills. This year I'm opening the competition up to city residences. I have registration forms on the table over here, over there. So help me paint the town purple this year, please.
Thank you, Gloria. Thank you all for coming. We will see you in 1 week if you come to boot camp, 2 weeks if you don't. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.